Now at 11, an educator accused of indecent exposure removed from the classroom. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. Investigators say it happened earlier this week at East Coweta High School. Atlanta News First anchor Victor Williams is in Coweta County, pressing police and school officials for more details on what happened.
Yeah, when a letter went out to parents letting them know allegedly what took place right here on campus, many people were downright in disbelief.
School is supposed to be a place where kids should feel safe to go and get an education and not have to worry about predators or things of that nature.
An active search warrant is out for East Coweta High School teacher Lewis McCarty, who allegedly exposed himself in a classroom. Amaya Bailey is a former student taken back by the allegations.
I think it's a very unfortunate event because I went to East Coweta and we've never had those type of problems, so to have those type of situations occurring is kind of heartbreaking to see.
Charges were filed when a student brought the matter to school officials earlier in the week. The incident is said to have taken place in either a health or PE class on Tuesday afternoon. That very same day, McCarty was placed on administrative leave. School officials wasted no time investigating the situation, sending this letter to parents, which partially reads, "Our school system's emphasis on safety and well-being of students and staff remains an utmost priority. It is our goal to always be proactive when the safety of students or questions about the behavior of staff and students on our campus arise."
I think they should get like better teachers in there, get away with the bad teachers and put better teachers in there.
And the district wants to use this opportunity to remind parents that if their students notice something's wrong right on campus, what they need to do is contact an administrator immediately. In Coweta County, Victor Williams, Atlanta News First.